G'day, Azure276 here. I've got a quick little video for you today talking about the new F-16 skins. The new F-16 skins come available with the roughmets that allow people to modify and change roughmets. The reason why this is important is see this different color shading here. If we go to the green channel, you'll see that that's a lighter color. The other channels are not affected by this, and I'll talk about that in a second. So if we come to the texture template that has been released, note that there should be a new one coming out soon that's fixed up some of the issues that people have been experiencing with them, mainly to do with the 16-bit color channels and the color profile that it uses. So they use a custom RGB. Whenever this gets exported with Intel DDS exporter, it makes it quite a bit darker. So a lot of default DDS files that you'll get in the game have some tail markings, and those tail markings are essentially painted on in real life, and they have roughened the surfaces up of where those paints are, so they're not as shiny, and that's why you've got a lighter color through there. The white color is more rougher, and the darker colors are shinier, and give it a bit more realism. I've had a few questions in regards to how to change this. So with our roughness group selected, you'll see that those markings are there still. Come into our layers and we'll find text logo for this particular one. Get rid of those extra parts. We can go deeper if we want to go into them, but we're not too concerned about that. So once we've hidden that and we make our own tail, our own skin, and for this one what I've done is just made it blue. So I got rid of the text logo, and for the sake of making things nice and easy, I've made a blue tail. So because I've got just a plain white blue tail, a plain blue tail, I don't need this roughness or change in roughness over these areas. So I need to change the rough channel. In roughness metallic maps, it'll look like that, and that's fine. But then, because it's a combination of the red, green, blue channels, but the game uses the red, green, blue channels in roughmets a little bit differently to your normal albedo. Albedo is the color. Red is used for ambient occlusion, so shadowed areas which are always shadowed to a degree, just makes them a little bit darker, a little bit more realistic in the physics-based rendering that the game uses. Green channel is your roughness, so how rough these surfaces are. The darker the color, the smoother it is, and the lighter the color, the more rougher it is. The blue channel is the metallicness of it. So you'll see these leading edges of the rudder have a slight metalness to them, so it makes them a little bit more, reflect more light. And some areas around the pylons are the same. Alpha channel here, I'm not too sure what the alpha channel is intended to do on this one, but it's here anyway, so I'm going to leave it here. And this is the alpha channel that came with the skin itself. So you'll notice that this particular skin that I've chosen has these here. Now to get your roughness out of this file and into DDS, so I've just opened that DDS and saved it, opened it directly from my custom skin. What I need to do is hide the albedo. We don't care about that. We want the roughness. If you want to do the metal map as well, metallic map, that's here as well, so you can change that if you wish, but we're only worried about roughness here. The trick here to get this out what you need to do, make sure you have your selection cross up, select the whole thing, come to edit, copy merged, or you can do Control Shift C. From there, come across to your DDS file. Go to channels. If you don't have your channels up here, go to your window, make sure channels is selected. You want to select the green channel, not just pick the eye, you want to select. So this is highlighted over everything else. Also, good idea to check the other maps, make sure, memorize what they look like. So once you've got your green selected, Control V or paste, and that'll copy that onto the green channel only. If you go to the blue and the red, hasn't changed. If you do that from here, it will change potentially all the channels. Let's do that for shiz and gigs. Let's change that. We go to the channels, and yeah, they're all stuffed up. So you need to make sure you're in your channels and you select the green only and paste that onto the green channel. And all you need to do, export as you normally would. I'll show you why that's important. So I've got my blue tail here. I've done two. I've used the incorrect roughness metallic map, and I've corrected one that I've just shown you how I've done that. If we spin around on here, catch the light at the right time, boom. You see that difference in the roughness of it? And you can see it at certain points. You can't see it all the time if you're looking directly on, depending on where the sun and the light is. So it's more angle of the light that hits it than the actual, if it's direct light, you don't notice it. If it's highly angled, you can see the shadowing effect in the roughness of the paint itself. And if we switch the roughness, you can see that disappears. So you can either get rid of the tail markings completely, or put in your own underlay your own icons, or your own paint work underneath, so you can change the roughness of those areas as you require. So I found it quite interesting that we get the roughmets in the template file from the developers, and I thank them for that. It allows us to make even minor corrections to the roughmets quite easily and improve the work that we do in the liveries. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.